Exploration has always been one of my favorite things to do in EVE, and I'm very happy to say that with the latest April balance patch, the exploration has been improved. Astero, Stratos and Nestor now are very good exploration ships, especially with the plus 25% bonus on the success rate with the analyzers, and I'm also very happy to say that the other exploration frigates have received a third medium slot, and they also received the same plus 25% analyzer success rate. So now these ships will be really good for opening the boxes. So here you can take a look at the analyzer success rate bonus. It is a roll bonus, and it should help a lot with the boxes. And the Astero also received a bonus on drone DPS, I believe. Most Sister of Eve ships did receive the same bonus, but the Astero is not a combat ship, although you can use this little ship for PvP if you like, but Stratios just does a better job. Astero is mostly a frigate for exploration, while the Stratios can be used for PvP as well. Astero has 3 drones, 2 high slots, 3 medium, 3 low, 3 combat and 3 engineering rigs. The Astero is primarily a armor tank. Don't shield tank the Astero. They have very good skill per level bonus on armor resistance, and the other stats on this little ship are comparable to the other faction frigates. The Astero is not the fastest faction frigate. It's actually somewhere in the middle. It's not the slowest, but not the fastest, so keep that in mind when flying this little ship. Now on to the build. Well, I haven't really changed anything. Let me just change the Astero for exploration. That means I have to use the blue scanner. I still recommend that you go for the top tier analyzers. They really help a lot with the boxes. You are able to open basically all boxes in the game if you use these analyzers. And the extra success rate is going to be very helpful, 24.8%, optimal range 11.84 kilometers. When I open boxes, I orbit at 5 kilometers. That's just the golden distance. If I get jumped, I can easily cloak. As for the rigs, I have dual gravity capacitor upgrades, and I have one power grid router. Now I will replace this rig with another gravity capacitor, with another gravity rig, because I want to use this ship exclusively for exploration. I have the capacitor rig because I used to run the Astero as a PvP ship back a couple months ago. As for the combat rigs, well, my combat rigs are a bit expensive as usual. I have 4P, 1 4P, 1 3P and 1 classic rig. I have greatly improved the resistances on this ship again. This can be used for exploration as good defense if the site is camped, but you can also use the combat rigs for something else. This is the rest of the build. The Astero can actually fit one medium armor repairer, and can also fit medium missiles. Back when I used this ship for PvP, I used to run rapid missiles or medium missiles, or if I decide to go for a more tanky build, I would use a medium armor repairer, and that also worked really well. The Astero is one tanky little ship, so if you want to use the Astero for PvP, you can, although keep in mind, not the best ship for that purpose. And here you will see that my Astero here cannot fit medium missiles because I have reset a lot of older skills. I actually don't have the best frigate skills at the moment. I used to have all on level 5, but I did have to reset the skills for the Dreadnought. Not the Dreadnought, but for the Dreadnought and for the battleship that I'm currently flying. So that's the reason why I currently cannot fit medium missiles. But back a couple months ago, I did roll this ship with medium missiles or a medium
Warp
armor
drive
repair.
active.
Okay, well, let's go towards the first site. Decayed Blood Raider Mine. Okay, this should be interesting. Now, I'm mostly scanning in low sec, in null sec, but lately I've been quite lucky in high sec as well. After the balance patch, I've noticed the loot in high sec became a lot better. And when I say a lot better, it jumped from 100 million if you're lucky to 500 million if you're lucky. And that's a big improvement. I'm very glad that that's the case. Again, exploration is something that new players can do, and in high sec you don't really need high-end analyzers that I'm currently using. And I'm still hoping that the developers release the other faction analyzers, because then you would have alternatives to the super expensive ones, and I'm all in for that. Now, opening the first box, I have to be careful. There is one or two in local, and okay, nice. I got some nice rigs there. I got some nice blueprints for rigs. That was around 300 million, I believe. Okay, local is clear now. Let me go after the next box. Always be super careful in low sec. If you see one player that's lurking around for a very long time in local and you have one or two or even more sites in the system, there is a good chance that the player is camping one of the sites, so be careful. In my case, I'm not too much worried because this Astero is tanky. This Astero has some teeth, it can defend itself. So if I get jumped, I can defend the ship and the loot without a problem. That's why I want to swap to a Stratios for exploration, because the Stratios is even tankier than the Astero, although it's slower, but the Stratios is really tanky, and a bomber or an interceptor or even a combat Astero will have a hard time to shoot down a Stratios that is built for exploration. And of course, it's a cruiser, it can shoot back really hard. So that's one of the reasons why you would like a Stratios over a Astero. Now, the advantage of the Astero is that this little ship is actually really fast. The Astero is, when I say really fast, well, it's definitely faster than a Stratios, that's for sure. Stratios is the slowest cruiser in the game. It's uncomfortably slow, but for exploration, if we compare the speed between this little ship and the Stratios, the Astero is way faster. And sometimes to be fast is a good thing. Like I said many times before, I like my fast ships. Okay, well, that was a nice first site for today. I'm definitely going to be checking out the loot in a second. Okay, site has vanished. Almost 300 million, and I think I can actually sell the... I can actually build the modules and I can make around 500 million with that. I actually think I will start building the modules, the rigs, and sell them. I think that's how I can get more ISK out of exploration. I already have a lot of materials that is just sitting there in my station. So I guess if I put those minerals to use, then I can build those modules. And you might be wondering, how do I have minerals? How do I have ore? Well, we have destroyed a lot of cargo ships. Let's just leave it at that. And sometimes selling the minerals is, well, not in the highest priority. And with time, the minerals stockpile, and yeah, we ended up with a lot of materials that is just sitting there. And well, luckily, I like to do exploration. That means I can put those minerals to use. Now, I did say that the success rate helps a lot, and I definitely noticed that I started opening the boxes a little bit faster, and the overall success rate is definitely noticeable. The 25% is a impactful number. I like to say that any percentage in EVE is going to be noticeable. Even 1%, you will notice the difference. In PvP, that 1% can be the deciding factor for a win or lose. So yeah, in this game, every single percentage matters, and even if it's 1%, I'll take it. Now, I also noticed that the box with the best loot usually takes a while to open, and I know a lot of players have told me that they did destroy a lot of boxes this way because the scanner doesn't open them, the analyzer doesn't open them. So that's one way how to identify a very nice box in a site. Now, in my case, sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes the lowest tier box gives the best loot. Now, currently I have couple debris and one rubble box. I'm opening the Blood Raider debris currently, and it takes a while. I have 5 remaining attempts. I'm here checking the analyzer success rate and thinking if that is a little bit suspicious that it takes so much time to open. Local is clear so far. That's actually really good. Always nice to have clear local while you are doing exploration. Oh, and by the way, you can fit a combat scanner with the PvE scanner on the Stratius. And well, that was quite a underwhelming loot box. It wasn't the best. Now let's go after the rubble. Here I thought to test out my theory by checking out how much loot I'll get from the... Oh, my apologies. Looks like I'm after the next Blood Raider debris box. Very soon I'll go after the Blood Raider Rubble Box, and then we will test out my theory about the loot that the boxes have. Now with the Stratius we can fit the combat scanner with the blue scanner. That way you can ensure that the other players in local are cloaked, or you can see if they are running a mission or if they are cloaked, if they are mining. That will help you feel safe in the exploration site. Okay, now let's go after the rubble box. It is time to test out my theory. Is the rubble box going to give me better loot than the debris box? Well, let's find out. So it took me 15-14 tries to open that debris box, and the loot was underwhelming. So let's open this one. Well, I trolled myself twice here, looks like. I guess the Blood Raider Rubble Box will be the last. Okay. So far, 5 million in cargo. The most goes towards the trafficking containers. I'm not a fan of the trafficking containers. I just keep them in the hangar. I don't sell them. I don't open them. I just keep them. And now, finally, the last box is the Rubble Box. Well, this time I'm not going to do the same mistake. Let's test out the theory. I said the same thing 3 times. I know, my apologies. I kinda messed up the sequence of boxes that I was opening here. It happens sometimes. 13 attempts remain. Interesting. It should be 16 attempts. Not quite sure what happened there. And, well, couple attempts and I got better loot than the box that took 15 attempts to open. So, I guess my theory about the difficulty to open a box goes in the water, I guess. It's very interesting, because up until this moment it was the opposite. The box that takes a long to open drops the best. In this case, the box that took a couple tries gave better loot than the box that took a long time. Okay, now here I was confused. I warped towards this Serpentis colony and yeah, the boxes were above me. I thought that my internet crashed for a second. There is one other player in local. Let's keep the PvP overview up, just in case if something suspicious happens. Opening the debris box. I think we have 3 debris boxes and 1 rubble box. Okay, first one has been opened. Let's go after the next one. As always, I prioritize the higher tier boxes and I leave the low tier box for the end. Although, based on what we have seen so far, that might be a mistake. Maybe I should go for the rubble box first and then after the debris boxes. I don't know. I want to believe that the previous rubble box was just me being lucky, and I want to believe that it doesn't happen all the time, but we will see. Still have a lot of exploration to do after this balance patch, and honestly I really like this balance patch. I know it could have been a little bit better, but it's still really good. Most of the ships that I fly were actually greatly improved by the balance patch. That includes the Astero, that includes literally all of my exploration and combat ships. And it made my builds work really good. I mean, they were already working really good, but now they work a lot better. Example, Hyperion, and well, you will see a new big boat very soon. I think that's going to be... I think once I start flying that new big boat, it will be hilarious, because that thing is just silly. That's all I will say at the moment. You will see what I mean when the time comes. Okay, well, that was quick. I have cleared this side very quickly. Almost all boxes opened within the first couple tries. The loot was okay. I can now
Autopilot
cloak
engaged.
and let's go towards the next exploration site. And there is
Warp drive
2
active.
in local. Alright, now I'm in high sec
drive
at
active.
the moment, and it will be time to open some high sec boxes. Now, high sec boxes used to give, at best that I've seen, around 100 to 150 million loot. In my case, before I recorded this, I found a couple of them, and overall I got around 100 million per site. I did 5 of them, so that's around 500 million in high sec only. And that's a lot of ISK if we consider the fact that in high sec you are 100% safe. So, for a new player, 500 million ISK is actually a really decent number. So, I really recommend that if you're a new player and if you are trying to make ISK in the game, then you can go and do exploration in high sec. For me, it worked really well, and based on my experience, it was profitable. It was very profitable. I'm actually surprised. Even 100 million per day for a new player should be enough in order to afford new ships, new modules, insurance, and stuff like that. So it's a pretty good thing. Now let's go towards the
Warp
next
drive
site.
active.
Overall, if I were a new player, I would definitely do exploration. The classic analyzers, the ordinary analyzers are enough for high-sec. The high-sec boxes are the easiest to open, and the difficulty does slowly progress towards more difficult into low-sec and into null-sec. Very excited about the future stuff, about exploration. I have a very good feeling about that. It should be really interesting. And I noticed that a lot of high-sec sites were untouched actually. I did do one little exploration room in high-sec. I was basically transporting some modules, and I decided, well, let's just try it out. And I found a lot of sites along the way. I did not have cargo to loot them, but I did scan all the way from my location to Jita, and along the way I saw a lot of sites. So you can make really good disc in high-sec using exploration, and you don't even need to fly an Astero. You can do high-sec exploration in any frigate you really like. The most important thing is that you need to have at least three medium slots in order to fit both analyzers and in order to fit the scanner. I know that the tier 6 Cortops frigates have only two medium slots, so you have to fly a ship with 3 medium slots, at least 3, in order to make this work, and I think it should run really well. Now from this site I got around 78-80 million from the yellow chip that you saw me loot there. And overall, this site was really good. This was in high-sec, and a very good high-sec site. I stumbled upon 5 sites like this, and well, the reverse process decryptor, 28 million on market. Not bad at all. Alright, well, that would be it for the Astero exploration room for today. Hope that you enjoyed, hope that the builds and the tips that I give here are helpful, and with that being said, stay safe, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.